Buongiorno everyone, welcome back to the Magpie Channel TV. I am now sat outside this little pizza kebab takeaway place near my apartment. It is 11 PM for a 6:45 kickoff. I've just got back and listen to this, right? We're going to talk about this terrible crack and journey that we've had to go through. All the Toon fans have, or walking an hour plus back. The ones that didn't get on the train, and I don't think many did get on the train, to the Siro Stadium stop. The train outside, the metro, off. Don't know what happened. I'm hearing rumours that someone pulled the emergency button and they cancelled it, or I had a feeling this was going to happen because my mates who travelled here 20 years ago said they put the trains off on purpose, so all the fans had to walk back over an hour back into the city centre. So by the time they got there, loads of the bars were closed, or it stopped them drinking for like an hour or so. So that's what I've heard as well. So whether some idiot pulled the emergency thing and the trains got cut off and had computer issues and all that, or they just shut them because they didn't want loads of Geordies getting back and drinking more. So thousands of Geordies have had to walk back to the city centre now, which takes about an hour and a half from the San Siro. Absolute joke. What a shambles that is. It's a disgrace. There was loads of police around and obviously the AC fans and everything, so there was loads going on there. And I was like, there's no way I'm walking an hour and a half back. I was like, I can't be bothered. I was like, there's no way I'm doing that. Like, there's people getting attacked and everything. I was like, I don't really fancy walking an hour and a half back for that reason, and because I'm knackered. When you get into the San Siro as well, right, and you'll see it on the vlog will be coming out tomorrow, some unbelievable scenes from the San Siro, the crowd beforehand, everything. People that were there the night will know just how steep those stairs were and how tiring it was just to get up to the top. It was so hot the night, it was humid, it was sticky. I was like, I'm not walking back. Paid 60 euros for an Uber. For a 10-minute Uber, it was 60 euros. Over 50 British pounds for a 10-15-minute Uber. Oh my days. But thankfully a couple of lads jumped in with us and we split the bill, so that was Ari. But anyways, I'm now back. I'm starving. I haven't ate since way early on today. So I'm about to get myself a nice little pizza diavolo. Pepperoni for you lot that aren't clued up. I only know it's that because it's on the menu up there. But so I'm going to wait for that. My apartment's just down the road, and I'm going to enjoy that, and I'm going to go to bed. Then we'll fly back to Paris tomorrow, and then from Paris to London. So 2 flights to catch tomorrow, and then a train. Oh, great. But yeah, let's talk about the game now in the show, now that we've got all that whinging out of the way out of the nightmare systems and that, and getting back. So the game itself wasn't great either, to be fair. I'm going to be positive though. I am going to be positive, and I think it is a very positive point. I think it's a very solid point, and if you had offered me a draw before the game, I would have took it. I would have. I think if you start your Champions League campaign off with a draw, unbeaten, look at unbeaten European mags, that's what we are. And I think if we started off with that, we'll take that result, run with it, and at the end of this group stage we might look back and think that was a great point. You know what I mean? We might think that point kicked us on, because let's be honest, you'd assume that it would be our home form, the fans and war flags backing us, that'll carry us through these group stages and hopefully get us through the knockout rounds. You'd think that there would be our strongest chance of getting through, would be to win those games at home. So to start off with a point at the San Siro, listen, you could see tonight we were nervous. A lot of these players haven't played Champions League. Jacob Murphy started, Longstaff started, Dan Burns started, Nick Pope. All these players, haven't played it. A lot more of them haven't either. Eddie Howe's never managed a Champions League game. And we're coming up against one of Europe's elite. Like, I know they're not as great as the once was, but even last year they got the semi-final. And I know they're so Tonali, but they've still got some great players. So to go to the San Siro, just very hostile atmosphere. Their fans were brilliant, by the way. I thought they were class. Jumping up and down, the drums all game long. Very, very good. You'll see a lot of fan interactions in the matchday vlog. You don't want to miss that. It was class. Mixing with them and the fans on before the game, so that was a belter. But in terms of on the pitch, it was disappointing. I think it was a bit... Defensively, we were brilliant. Defensively, we were absolutely class. Offensively, we weren't. I don't think we were clicking going forward. I think we were too slow. I thought we were very static, very nervous. Isaac was knackered. My pizza's ready, so I'll resume this video at my apartment. Oh yes, there we go, people. Nice old pepperoni. So I'm going to scram that in a few minutes, but I will wrap up the video. As I was saying, going forward was poor, lacking conviction, maybe confidence. And again, I think that you could tell it was the start of our Champions League journey. And it is a difficult place to go, like I said, to do it at the San Siro, to do it in Italy on a hot, humid night. It did make it tricky for us. So there was not many harder starts to the Champions League campaign I think we could have got than AC Milan away. So all in all, a very good result, but the performance could have and should have been better. Like, Longstaff nearly wins it at the end. Do you know what I mean? What a story that would have been. But that was the first shot on target. It was like the 95th, 96th minute. You know what I mean? They had 25 attempts. We had about 5 or 6. We had 1 on target. They had more possession than us. And that was their second keeper as well that came off the bench and made that save. So I just think we just didn't threaten enough. I think we could have done a lot more. I thought the game was there for the taking in certain parts where we're breaking forward, and the lack of decision making, the lack of enthusiasm and energy to make something happen was a bit passive at times. But like I said, it's our first Champions League game in over 2 decades. A lot of these players haven't played Champions League football before, and it's a real bonus to be back here now, and hopefully we'll kick on. Like I said, it's the home games that are going to count, and then let's see what we can do at the likes of Dortmund away as well, where again is another very difficult place to go to. It'll be another cracking atmosphere. But tonight, I thought Trippier on his birthday was outstanding. I thought he was brilliant. Obviously, Nick Pope with some vital saves, because we could have been 3-0 down inside the first half an hour. Pope made some brilliant stops. So that was very good for him, because he has been obviously ropey for a while now, especially after the Brighton game. So that'll hopefully do his confidence the world of good. I thought he was really back to his best, shot-stopping, decision-making, coming out for the crosses, things like that. He was a lot better and a lot smarter. So I was really pleased for Pope on that one. And defensively, I thought, Botman and Shaw were brilliant together. Byrne wasn't for me. I think defensively he did all right, but it's unbelievable sometimes how he kind of passed the ball. He was winding a lot of fans up around us, like putting the ball out sometimes. It's like, what are you doing? How can you not pass the ball? There's one moment where Bruno loses his temper with him, because he's like astounded that he couldn't pass the ball 5 yards. So we'll hopefully see Lewis Hall coming anyways. But Byrne was, he did his job defensively. Just never got a clean sheet, so of course he did. But the midfield, I thought Bruno himself was a lot better tonight. I thought he was getting back to his best. Tonali, sometimes he made a bit of a dodgy decision, but I don't think he was fully fit, so he's coming back. So he was good enough, to be fair. He was good enough. Longstaff grew in the game. I thought you could tell he hasn't had many minutes, and then 20, 30 minutes in, he was a lot better. But I thought he was really poor tonight was Isak, and he should have came off a lot sooner. Isak was terrible. He looked so off the pace. And I think Bond should have came on a lot earlier for Isak. I think Eddie should have made the subs a bit sooner for that. Almiron again, I think he could have threatened more with his pace, but the wrong decision, or checking back, things like that. But like I say, defensively, solid, great point. Going forward, I think we could have and probably should have done more, threatened them a bit more. But our first game back in the Champions League, we got off to a good start. It's a very positive result, a positive point on the board. And let's hope we can kick on from here. Grow with confidence in the Champions League, and realise that we can go toe-to-toe, because I think, again, in that atmosphere, I can do it as well, and the players. But I just think there's times where we just need that more self-belief and not give them too much respect. But tonight was good enough. It was good enough. It's been an unbelievable trip in itself. It was another fantastic day along the canal with the fans in the stadium. Thankfully, I didn't see any trouble, didn't witness anything. But we know what's going on elsewhere, so that's a big shame. Hopefully nothing happens again tonight. I'm hearing different stories about what's happened, why it's happened. I don't want to talk about them because I don't know the truth in them. But I just hope the bloke that is in hospital gets home safely and has a speedy recovery, and hopefully that's the end of any other attacks and incidences, because it wasn't nice there. Like when we were leaving the stadium and all the fans were stranded, everyone was like looking over the shoulder, a bit like sketchy. Like there was rumours that there was another stabbing that had happened and things like that. So I don't know if that was true or not. Again, I can't comment on it, but that's what someone said. Oh, there was a stabbing before the game. And then you've got all the police and the army trucks were going past. So it was obviously very, very serious, very heavily watched, and a heavy presence there. So it's not pleasant. Like, it is scary when you come out of the stadium and there's thousands of fans and people are getting attacked and previously, and then you've got army trucks and police and everything. You think, well, yeah, they're obviously expecting kickoffs, and then all the stadiums, the stations, the metro stops are closed, so they all know that we're walking back in one direction. Like, it's not nice. Like, so I hope nothing's happened. Thankfully, I eventually got an Uber after waiting about 30 minutes for one. But anyways, the Champions League has begun. We've got a point on the board. This is your match reaction. I want to hear what you think in the comments below about the game. Stay tuned to the channel. Tomorrow we'll be bringing you the match day vlog. That is going to be insane. It's class. I know there wasn't many goals, but honestly, beforehand, the build-up and in and around the stadium, unbelievable banter, chants, loads of stuff going on. So make sure you tune in for that one. Give us one a thumbs up, subscribe, and see you on the next one.